Oh,
I don't know.
we're so professional. We're so
Right.
professional here.
Sorry, folks.
It's part of our
That
charm.
was my fault. That was my fault.
Hello, everyone. Actually, Casey, I'm going to let you say hello to everybody because you've got the beads and the attitude and all that. You got it going on. So you bring us in.
Hi, y'all. Thanks for joining us on Opinionated. It's Mardi Gras, and today we're going to talk about Mardi Gras.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay, look. Before we started, Casey had on. She was wearing the beads exactly how they're supposed to be worn. Well, if you were to be on Bourbon Street at like 2:30 a.m. ish, and
do you want me to do it?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I'm going to lose the beads if I do it because I'll never get them back on my head, right?
It's okay.
It was something like it was something like this. Not quite.
Yeah.
But
you know what's funny though? I have seen that so many times in college. So many times. So many times. Don't worry,
my
folks.
hair's gonna be all fucked up. Look at this. Look what you made me do.
We have plenty of opportunities for you guys to earn beads, and I believe that everybody knows how to earn them, right? Everybody knows that. That's pretty much a given thing, right?
Yes, I mean I do.
Okay. Well, you can tell that Casey's already been busy today.
I have the purple and the gold. So nice. I'm missing green.
Last year, there's this thing that they have every year where I live, and it's called it's at this old castle. There's like this old, it's a huge castle like out in the middle of the woods. Okay, now if you think about it, not many reasons why North Carolina should have a castle just sitting out in the woods, but I don't know the backstory of it, but it's just this really big castle building, and this like event company came in and bought it, and so they do like weddings. They have this thing called the Crystal Garden out there where they do weddings and stuff like that. But like twice a year for Mardi Gras and for Halloween, they do this thing where they just have beer and alcohol everywhere, and you just are in the woods with the castle. They have these like people that sling fire, and it's like a carnival. And
That's cool.
last year I wanted to dress up, but I'm the type of person like when I like for Halloween and stuff like that, I don't want to like dress up. I still want to be like where if something were to happen, where if something were to happen, I wouldn't just be like completely out of like, character or whatever. So I had these old shoes, these old high top Converse shoes, right? Come up to your ankle. And I went and got some gold paint from Walmart, some spray paint. Now, here's a trick that I learned. Make sure you get the right kind of spray paint because apparently there is more than one.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about colors. There's oil bait. You know what I mean? Like there's different types. So I am wearing these gold shoes, and it's the end of the night, and it had rained a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And we get into the Uber, and we get back to the my friend's place that I was going to stay that night, and I'm looking down, and the back of the Uber is just gold everywhere. Everywhere gold. Yes, I had bought the kind of spray paint that apparently when it gets wet, it's going to come off. So.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Teaching moments.
That sucks. Yeah.
Let's see. Let me say what we've got coming up for this week. Oh, yeah, this is lovely coming up. You're going to want to cover your ears on Thursdays, Casey. But tomorrow, Cult of Dusty will be here. And then on Thursday.
What? What? You got Cult of Dusty?
Yeah.
No. Do you know how hard I tried to get Cult of Dusty to come on Non-Sequitur? And do you remember he was like, well, if you pay me. Do you remember that shit?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think what happened where he's coming on now it was through Twitter or something like that. We were all commenting on like this, like a post together or whatever, and we were. Steve asked him if he wanted to come on. He said, "Yeah." So I had forgotten all about that. Actually, now that you said that.
What a dick.
Yeah, no, because he was gonna debate. Or Bunty King was wanting to talk to him.
Bunty King, yeah.
I remember that now. Look. So much shit happens. There's so much shit that happens, and you have to keep up with that. It's even hard to remember 4 months ago, and the events leading up to that. It's just that completely escaped me until you just said that.
I'm really glad he's coming on, though. Like, me and him have a love-hate relationship, so I'm really glad he's going to come on this.
Oh, we know. We watched it unfold on Twitter.
Yeah. On a regular basis. See, here's the thing. Sometimes we like super agree and we're totally on the same page, and then other times we are so far from each other. It's really unbelievable.
That's how Steve and I's relationship is. That's exactly how Steve and I's relationship is. So on Thursday, JF is coming back because the topic of the debate is going to shock you, and I'm extremely nervous about this. However, I told Psychopath Atheist and JF that we would do it because we can be mature enough to talk about these difficult, I hope, these difficult topics. But JF is going to be presenting a case that slavery was a net positive for African Americans. Psychopath Atheist is going to be taking the stance, of course, that it was not. And Psychopath Atheist is an African American, so yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be in the chat.
Yeah, that's, you know what though, that to me, like, I'm not worried so much about JF. Like, I think JF is going to be able to, I think where he's going to come with it, just like the Jesse Lee Peterson thing. Jesse Lee Peterson comes from it where, they were more focused on the family, that, there wasn't this like single father, that sort of line of thing. I'm not worried about JF like going crazy. I am concerned about, like last time, what happened with the live chat. That's where all the I literally had to have Nonbot censor the word potato.
Yes, the chat was so bad, and it wasn't just it was not even just JF fans. It was mostly people who were there to shit on him.
Yeah,
which
that's what,
is fine. Mm-hmm. I mean, to me, like, shitting on JF is fine, generally speaking, because I can't stand him and what he's about. But they were saying like the most horrendous things about like his, I hate to call her his girlfriend because I have really serious issues with that particular thing, that particular situation. But I was very shocked by what was going on in the chat.
And he said that too. That was his thing. It's not, they weren't JF fans that were giving us the problem. It was the people that JF bans from his live stream, and so they follow him to wherever he goes to, wreak havoc. And but I went back and checked, and Nonbot had banned over 100 people because of the potato. And I was having to I banned potatoes, tater tots. I had to ban the misspelling of the word potatoes. And the worst of it, no, that wasn't the worst of it. The saddest part of it is that I had to go in and find the potato emoji, and I had to copy and highlight the potato. Yeah, and put that in there. Like, ridiculous. It wasn't words like fuck or cunt or anything like that. It was, or any racist terms. It was potato.
Yeah, the JF fans, the stuff that I came across mostly in the chat from them was like Nazi phrase stuff and like serious trans hate. Trans hate. Well, so that was that's the stuff that came from them, but the potato thing was the worst part. That was the worst. The people were just a mess.
Now, see, if we had Ron White on the show, tater would definitely be a word we could use.
I opened for Ron White. I got to work with Ron White.
You did?
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
I love Ron White.
He came to I was the house MC at the Funny Bone in High Point, North Carolina for about a year. Part of my senior project in high school was I did it on stand-up comedy, and they were my mentors. Like, I went to the comedy club and they taught, walked me how to do like stand-up or whatever. And so the next year, my first year in college, I was there. I would introduce like all the acts that would come in, and I got to do like 10 minutes beforehand. And he came through. It was in July of 2004. He came through. It was right when they were like getting off that big success. And he is just like the guy that you see on the stage. I mean, just bubbly,
much.
Such a nice guy. I mean, such a nice guy. But I did a lot of homework. I went to actually for the past 2 nights. I went to several of JF's streams and people that like are in that same circle, and I went through the live chat and I found all the words that could possibly be used or misconstrued as either racist, anti-Semitic, the anti-trans stuff, and Nonbot is ready to take that wrench to anybody's head on Thursday.
Can't wait.
So
Can't
yeah,
wait.
let them.
I'm so excited.
What I'm going to do,
and honestly,
let me just say this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the box in the corner, like in the corner of your screen, a picture of Nonbot with her body count.
A counter? Yes.
Yeah. Nonbot body count.
It's going to be
all right. Go ahead.
It's going to be.
What were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say I'm interested in the debate, not because I think that it's possible that JF's right, but because it just I really want to see where he goes with this. And then, but the chat, I'm super interested to see what happens in the chat.
Yeah. I think that Destiny does a lot of debates with ethno-nationalists, the people who believe that we should have an all-white state, and they're fascinating to listen to. I mean, just the way that some people think is shocking sometimes. Like there are literally people here that just have a warped view on society as a whole. And Destiny, to his credit, is really good at breaking down those arguments to where there can be no distinction. Like this is a horrible idea and it should not be condemned. But I think it's important to have those conversations, because if not, then all those people kind of congregate and go into their own echo chambers, and it just gets worse. At least this way you have two people that are going to be presenting a side, and people are going to be able to say, hey, yeah, that's a really bad idea. So
yeah, they make me mad. Like
oh yeah,
they make me really mad, because I don't understand people like that. Like I just don't understand their thinking. And no matter how many times they or people like them explain it, I can't understand it. So it just pretty much pisses me off. So I try to stay away from those things as much as possible. But
well, you know what that means? That means you're a decent person.
What?
Oh God,
I know, I'm so awful.
What I find the where they really kind of fall and falter is, and this is where, like I said, Destiny shines. In each one, Destiny brings up this point, because you'll have these white nationalists come on there and they say, I think we need to start with the South African, the South Saharan African, the dark-skinned people, get them out first. And they're presenting the case because what they want is they want to keep the white state pure, because they don't want to lose that. So then what Destiny says is, and you've seen Destiny before, he says, what about me? Where would I fall into this ethno state? And they're like, well, you're white, of course you would go in there. And he's 50% Cuban. He is 50% Hispanic. So he said, is it really what makes you a Caucasian, what makes you black, or is it just who you think looks like they would identify as a white person, who will toe the line as a white person? And he actually got two of them to admit that dark-skinned, either Hispanic or lighter-skinned African Americans, if they said they would act white, they could stay. It has nothing to do.
Sake.
Yeah, it has nothing to do.
Act white.
They want.
I don't even know what that means.
They want that. I mean, it's a cultural thing. It's not that they want to keep a pure white ethnicity. That's bullshit. I mean, that's absolute bullshit. It has everything to do with the fact that they want you to act a certain way, and if you don't act a certain way, then they want you gone. And he did a brilliant job of exposing that.
So, like, what about? This is going to sound bad, but like going along the acting white thing, like what if you have white people that don't act white? Where do they fit? Or do they're in because they're white? That's
a good question. The thing is, though, like several of them will say we'll do like a genetic testing thing, number one, but all of us originate back from Africa. At some point we are our lines cross, and you're not going to find anybody. And Destiny also brings up a brilliant point when he says that 100 years ago, when you have, or 200 years ago, when you have the writings of like Thomas Jefferson and those guys, they didn't consider people from like Ireland or Spain as white people. They were a subset of Caucasians or like your general white people. So that's changed in the past 100 years.
I'm sorry, I had to laugh because somebody in the chat said, can we separate people who act like hillbillies? Sorry, but GE's going to get caught in this.
I would too, though. Listen to my accent.
Yeah.
You would bust us out, though. Jeff Holiday says he's black.
Yeah, I saw that. Sorry,
we know, Jeff.
Sorry, Dave. Sorry, Dave. I'm fucking with my shit. Sorry. Okay.
We know. This is Smitty. This is not a. Oh, you weren't talking to me. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, that's that on the slavery debate. This might be completely different, though. This is a completely different like proposition. This isn't should we have an ethnostate. This is slavery was a beneficial thing for African Americans. That's why I can't wait to hear the argument for there. Now there are some people that will make the argument that Uncle Tom laws, the way that society was set up under Uncle Tom, like Jesse Lee Peterson will argue for that. He says that the people were better off under Uncle Tom, and he actually grew up in it. That's the crazy thing. Jesse Lee Peterson is an African American man who grew up under those laws and Jim Crow laws, and he's saying that we need to go back to that.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's one way to think about it. I mean, it's a fucking dumb way, but all right.
George in the live chat says, I was wondering about Kyle's accent in North Carolina. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, North Carolina. Is that bad? I'm going to put a plug. We're going to start bringing on some of the people that are going to be speaking at Faithless Forum this year. That's going to be
I'm so excited.
April the 27th. Those are going to include Cyrus the Skeptic, Prophet of Zod, Cosmic Skeptic, Holy Kool-Aid, Shannon Q, Apologia, Drew of Genetically Modified Skeptic, Rachel Oates, Rationality Rules, Telltale Atheist, Objectively Dan, Eric Murphy, and yours truly, the
Kyle Curtis.
Yeah. Hey. So we'll be bringing them in and talking to them about why they started picking up atheist activism and updates on their channel, that sort of thing. So you can look out for that. That's all that I have. You have anything that you want to?
No, I don't get to go to Faithless Forum, and I'm super bummed about it. Yeah, I have a midterm.
Yeah, independent woman.
Yeah. Next
Speaking of, let's take a second and talk about what's coming up soon for you.
What's coming up soon for me?
Oh my God! You don't have any like major life events happening soon?
Oh well, I may or may not be getting married.
What happened?
Soon. What?
Are y'all fighting?
No, I'm totally getting married.
Okay. You're gonna say, am I out of a job already?
No.
I have been practicing.
I'm married. And Kyle is marrying me. I mean, not marrying me, but marrying
that
us.
would be an interesting twist.
I know, right?
Surprise! Well, the people don't believe I'm gay anyway, so that would actually fit their narrative. No one, yeah.
People don't believe you're gay. They don't talk to you enough.
No, they don't. I've been practicing my preacher cadence though.
Oh yeah.
And do you, godless engineer?
You cannot call him godless engineer. No.
That's his name though, isn't it?
No.
Wait a minute. He's been lying to all of us this whole time. His name's not godless engineer.
Yeah. You're also probably going to have to use my real name.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Casey's going to be taking us through. I think it's important to point this out. We were talking today about tonight and kind of our game plan, and I said maybe we should talk about St. Patrick's Day since it's St. Patrick's Day. Only it's not St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is next week. But they're essentially the same holiday.
They're not.
You wear green, you get drunk, you throw up. Repeat.
They're not. No, I mean, you no.
Well, I look forward to you proving me wrong.
Don't
Dave,
forget
put a timer.
Cabbage. Don't forget the corned beef and cabbage now.
Oh, what is that about?
Corned beef and cabbage. What?
Oh,
St. Patrick's Day.
Oh no.
Corned beef and cabbage. Wriggles World says Kyle is as straight as a rainbow. You know what? That's actually
accurate.
I actually like that. Thank you.
Yep,
so yeah, Casey's going to be taking us through Mardi Gras and what it tells. I actually know nothing about Mardi Gras except boobs, beads, and booze. That's why I named this stream that.
Is that what you named this? Boobs, beads, bourbon, and booze.
Well, I didn't put boobs, of course, because that would be instant demonetization. But in reality, it's boobs. Boobs.
Oh, okay. And boobs, boobs, and boobs.
Yep.
You know, I have noticed this, and I'm going to ask you because we're here. Like, why do gay men love boobs so much?
Because everyone loves boobs. It's a scientifically proven fact that in every clinical trial where a hand is in the proximity of a breast, there will be a smile on the face.
Okay. I have honestly had my boobs grabbed more in my life by gay guy friends than by like not gay men.
You want to know? You know, why? You know, everybody. You know, people who aren't gay always like, oh, I can never be gay. You know, you have to stick stuff up your. You know, that whole bad. The trade-off for that, though, is that you get a boob pass. And like I said, I don't care who you are. Everyone likes boobs. Everyone likes boobs. So.
All right. So you have
a
boob pass. Do they send that in the mail? Like, is there a card you get in the mail?
No, it mainly happens at Victoria's Secret. I have several friends that through college I would go shopping with them, but like they wanted to like get something for their boyfriends or whatever, and so they take you so that as you can get you give that male opinion. And the first time it ever happened to me, after the first time it was like second nature. But I went into Victoria's Secret and I'm just standing outside of the fitting room, and she looks out of the little curtain and said, "Are you coming or what?" And I was like, I mean, yes. And boom, just popped it off. And I was like, well, you know, this isn't bad. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with
this. Terrible.
So terrible.
Terrible. I forgot to email myself my Mardi Gras fact sheet, but it's okay. I have it on my phone.
Can we block? That's have a mod do that. Ben, or just tag them in that. So Dave, do you have? How do you want to do this, Casey? Are you going to be starting off of your slides, or are you just going to take us on in?
Yeah, Dave's going to put up the slides, and then we're going to go. I'm going to just read through, and he knows when to flip.
Cool. Kimono says, if I turn gay, I'll get more boobs. Is there a catch I'm missing? Yes. You'll there are pitchers and catchers. So that catch your is there a catch? Yes. If you choose that position, yes, there's definitely a catch. Sorry. All right, Dave, are you with us?
I am.
Okay. Let's throw her up there then.
Okay. Yay. I know it's hopefully it turned out okay. All right. So Mardi Gras, which means Fat Tuesday, is a carnival held in many countries all over the world. But the most famous celebrations, festivals, and parades are at Mardi Gras in New Orleans and Carnival in Rio de Janeiro. The three Mardi Gras or carnival colors are purple, green, and gold, and actually have specific meanings. The purple represents justice, the gold power, and the green faith. The colors were chosen to resemble a jeweled crown honoring the wise men who visited Christ on the Epiphany, a church holiday that celebrates the wise men's visit and Jesus' baptism. I don't believe any of this, but this is where it comes from. Just saying.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. These representations are linked to the origins of Mardi Gras, which is Shrove Tuesday. The word Shrove comes from the Old Middle English word shrive, which means absolution of sins by doing penance or confession. As some of you may or may not know, Mardi Gras is the day before Ash Wednesday and is the beginning of the church season of Lent, which is the 40 days prior to Easter. The Lenten season is marked by fasting and sacrifice, and historically in the church is meant to prepare the religious for Christ's resurrection. Today, religious people, mainly Catholics, typically give up something for Lent, like soda, sweets, cussing, whatever. And for most Catholics, they do no meat on Fridays.
Well, now it's
so back to.
I was just gonna say now they're giving up their well, never mind. I'm gonna take the high road. I'm not gonna make a Catholic. I'm gonna take the high road on this one.
Yeah. Okay. So. Shrove Tuesday is also known as Pancake Day because before the Lenten period of fasting began, people would need to rid their homes of rich foods like butter, sugar, and eggs. So the day before Ash Wednesday, which is a day of fasting, people would gorge on pancakes or some sort of sweet fried dough or batter. People also tended to engage in other sinful behaviors on Shrove Tuesday because Ash Wednesday is also used to be a day on which Catholics would go to confession. So they would get all the sinning out of the way, confess, fast, do their Hail Marys, and be forgiven of whatever sins they committed the day before. These practices became the framework for what we now know as Mardi Gras or Carnival.
I love how that the Mardi Gras, which is now defined literally as the boobs on Bourbon Street and everybody getting trashed, has its roots in this this religious aspect of it. I didn't know that.
Does. Yeah, it does. And there were actually even prior to Roman Catholicism, the pagans used to have like spring festivals and things like that where they would do some similar kinds of things. So there's roots even further back, but the framework for what we now do is in the Roman Catholic tradition.
So do you think that Jesus was passing around beads?
No, I don't think so. But I will tell you where throwables, like the float throws, I will tell you the history of that. We'll get to it. Yeah. So the first American Mardi Gras took place in 1699 with the Lemoyne brothers. They were French explorers who were sent to defend France's claim to the region. And they landed near present-day New Orleans and held a small celebration at their landing spot, which they called Point du Mardi Gras. By the 19th century, Mardi Gras festivals were common and included street celebrations, decorated wagons, and primitive floats. The first Mardi Gras parade in New Orleans was held in 1837, and they were considered so unruly that by 1850, authorities wanted to ban them completely. But in 1857, a group of young men founded the Mystic Crew of Comus and produced the first organized and themed parades. And this was such a success that not only did lawmakers not want to ban the celebrations, in Louisiana in 1875, they made Mardi Gras a legal state holiday. Today, Mardi Gras is also a state holiday in Alabama and Florida.
What?
Yeah, it's a state holiday here.
Florida finally got something right.
Yeah, and they actually have huge, hold on one second. They actually have huge Mardi Gras celebrations in Mobile.
Really? In Alabama?
Yeah.
I wouldn't thought that.
Okay. Hold on one second. Hi,
sure.
buddy.
Dave, I'm also gonna towards the end of the stream, I have a surprise for everybody that I think will be fascinating to see. So remind me to send you. Just send the secret package before we close.
Okay.
Who says that? Okay, so bye, buddy. Okay,
Aww.
sorry, my guys are leaving.
Bye.
Okay, so next, sorry, let's go to the next slide. So as most of you know, Mardi Gras is known for its flamboyant floats, and these are pictures of some of the most well-known ones.
Pretty.
I don't really know a whole lot about them, but here we are. Anyways, yeah, I know they're super pretty and colorful, aren't they?
Does this happen like tonight, or does the parade thing happen on the weekend?
That happened today.
Oh, it did? Okay.
Like during the day. At night, they have all the balls.
I mean, why on a Tuesday?
Huh?
Why on a Tuesday?
I already explained this, Kyle.
Oh, because of the
before Ash Wednesday.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just making sure that you're paying attention. That's all.
Wait, I was paying, dude. I'm doing this.
I know.
Are you paying? Okay. There's another slide of floats too.
Oh, I love.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
And they have these warehouses in New Orleans, full of this shit, and it's really, really creepy. I saw a documentary about it, and it's super weird.
Are they always the same? Like they don't change them up every year?
There are some. They do change, and there are floats added and stuff like that. But some of them, like there are some that are traditional ones, kind of like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. How there are some floats that you'll see that are the same, and others that you'll see that are new.
I have a question. Are you gonna? Does any of your presentation go into the like the voodoo aspect of it? Because isn't there like a rich voodoo culture in New Orleans as well?
There is in Louisiana, yes, but I don't talk about voodoo. We should do an episode about voodoo and find a voodoo person.
We should. I think that'd be fun. I'll write that down.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on. Let me pull my notes back up. Where are we? Floats.
I'm in North Carolina.
Okay, so the tradition of float throws, like beads and coins, was started in the 1870s by the 12th Night Revelers in New Orleans. The idea came from a French tradition of throwing flowers into parade crowds. This became such a huge hit that all crews adopted the practice, and it has been a Mardi Gras tradition ever since. The typical throwables include beads and aluminum coins, but other items have been thrown throughout the history of the parade, like medallions, which is actually where the aluminum coins come from, which they used to throw metal medallions. And the original beads were actually glass beads. But they've also thrown, yeah, I know, I bet you that was terrible, right? They've also thrown candied almonds, cups, plastic spears, and stuffed animals. They basically throw any kind of shit.
Man, people just didn't give a fuck back then. You know what I mean? Like throw glass, throw metals.
Yeah, there is so much trash like on the streets after Mardi Gras. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I went to Manhattan for the ball drop one year for New Year's, and what you don't see, like after the cameras cut out, you know, everybody kind of packs up and goes off. But it was like 2:30 in the morning. We were leaving a bar, and there were these like army of street trucks that were just pushing. I mean, when I say mountains of confetti, it was literal mountains of confetti.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how much garbage there is after the ball drops in New York.
God, that looks good.
I know, it's a king cake. So the king cake tradition is thought to have been brought to New Orleans from France around 1870. It's oval shaped and is a cross between a coffee cake and a pastry. Inside each traditional king cake hides a prize, which earns the finder the title of king for the day. In smaller gatherings, it also comes with the responsibility of hosting the next year's Mardi Gras celebration and providing the king cake. So, go ahead.
Is there a queen cake?
No.
That's sexist. We can't support Mardi Gras anymore. Then.
Well, so when I was younger, king cakes used to have a coffee bean in them, and that's one of the things, because it's definitely, you could taste it. It wasn't going to hurt you if you bit into it or whatever. The plastic baby thing that people do, that's very common. They'll do a plastic baby, which is representative of little baby Jesus, right? Because what else to do with baby Jesus than, as a Jew, bake him in the oven in a cake? That's weird, right?
Well, you're already eating his flesh and drinking his blood. Might as well roll him up in a pie.
Right. So at Mardi Gras, they used to do, well, they still do the Rex, which is the king of Mardi Gras. And there's a queen of Mardi Gras, and they have king cakes. And they used to, a long time ago, they would do, the commoners could, like I know we're not in a royal state or anything like that, but the people who were commoners could eat the cake. Yeah, they could get their piece of cake, and whoever got the baby or bean or whatever was in it, the pea, sometimes they use peas, whoever got that would be allowed to be king for a day. And so they would get to do all the fancy things and everything that everybody else got to do. Or that nobody else got to do.
I have to say this just because we're talking about these sort of desserts that are native to to different areas of the country. Somebody mentioned this in the live chat, and since they did, this is one of my favorite things in the world. Now I'm not going to be able to focus because I have one. I'm craving one now. Have you ever had a moon pie?
I have, and it's funny, at Xander's school today, they had a parade and they were throwing moon pies. Oh. I think moon pies originated in Alabama. There's a little moon pie store where the Jack Daniel's distiller, well, not in Alabama, in Tennessee, there's a little moon pie store that only sells all different kinds of moon pies in the little town in Tennessee where the Jack Daniel's distillery is.
Let me tell you, I would follow that float that was throwing moon pies off of it. The entire length of the parade. You hate them.
I hate them.
Well, this has been fun. Dave, we're having difficulty with Casey's connection.
I hate them. They're so dry, and I don't know. I don't like them.
Raging Atheist. I live in North Carolina now. I grew up here, but I have an aunt that makes this dessert. Right? Okay, listen to this. She takes the banana flavored moon pies, and she'll layer them in the bottom of a pan. And then she makes this, like, I don't know if you've ever had mud pie. It's like a pudding dessert, whatever. And she'll make that and then dump that on that top of that layer of moon pies. And then she'll take the vanilla moon pies, put a layer, and then more mud pie. And then she'll take the chocolate moon pies, layer them up top. And then you chill that and you slice down the middle of it. Let me tell you something. Yes, you will get diabetes, but it will be worth every prick of your finger from then on out. Let me tell you.
I don't know. I live with a diabetic, and I grew up with a diabetic, and I hated my mom pricking my finger all the time to check and make sure I didn't catch the diabetes.
Yes, but if you tasted that, you would welcome that prick. It's well worth it. It's like trading your soul. Anyway, go ahead.
I finished king. I think I finished king cake. So you ready to move on to the balls?
I'm always ready to move on to the balls.
Yeah. So Mardi Gras balls. I actually considered changing it to galas because I know
I'm so glad you didn't. I'm so glad you didn't. These are like small victories for me.
All of a sudden, AC/DC's now playing in my head. Big balls.
Why?
Oh yeah, big balls.
So I actually was going to change it, but then I was like, well, they're called Mardi Gras balls, so we're just going to have to deal. So
yeah.
Mardi Gras balls are a tradition dating back to the 1800s, and they're typically masked balls with the exception of the Rex ball, which is the formal ball hosted to honor the king of Mardi Gras and presents the Carnival royalty, like Carnival royal family, which is not a family. They're people that are selected by the various crews or social societies that plan and organize Mardi Gras. And I think this is in what was this? This is sometime in the 1840s, I believe.
Do you think It looks hot where they're at there, Casey. Do you think that was a sweaty ball?
That You're such a dick. It was in New Orleans, and it was in March, so probably not.
Oh yeah, that ball was sticking to the side. Okay, I'm done.
They might have been a little shriveled. We don't know. It might be cold.
I'm done.
We'll see. Okay. All right. So, like the rest of the slides, basically, we can just kind of go through. They are pictures from various Mardi Gras and Carnival celebrations around the world, because this really is something that is celebrated all over the place.
Oh, what's the Klan doing?
Yeah.
In Mardi Gras.
Huh?
What's the Klan doing at Mardi Gras?
Actually, it looks like the Teletubbies and the Ku Klux Klan got together. That's what that looks like.
I'd be willing to bet that there were Klan Mardi Gras celebrations. I'd be willing to bet it.
Oh, you know it.
But yeah, this is in Belgium. Isn't this weird?
It is weird. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some documentary where there was there's it's like a statue or something like that that's in this European Eastern European town. I forget the name of it, but it's like a really creepy statue, and it's been sitting there for like 100 or so years. And it's like the legend is that on a certain night that statue comes to life and kills all the kids, but no one will get rid of. Everybody hates the statue, but no one wants to get rid of it.
Oh, weird.
Very weird.
Yeah, but I love looking through these and seeing these, because even though they're all kind of similarly themed, as far as Mardi Gras goes, you can see all of the cultural influences in the different areas.
Is that flowers on that car?
Yes.
That's tricked out.
Probably carnations.
That's wild.
Yeah, the costumes are amazing. Rio de Janeiro has the most amazing costumes of anywhere, I think.
It's such a pretty color blue that everybody's got on down there.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, Rio, like,
look at
huge.
the blue. Look at the blue on that left-hand picture there.
Look at the tiger.
Mm-hmm. I know. Rio is amazing. Carnival is unbelievable. I would really like to go to Carnival. This is still more of Carnival.
Oh, I can't look at the bottom one. Nope.
Oh, I know. It's freaky, right? Nope. Their pants are unbelievable. I don't even know how you walk in those. Look how big these floats are.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Now, do you know what the symbolism, or if there's any like meaning, like how do they choose which floats they're going to use? Like, does each one represent something? Well, I see that they did one in Steve McRae's image down there on the bottom right.
Yeah. Well, like in New Orleans, the crews, the crews it's KREWES. They're like social societies. Mm-hmm. They do the themes and build the floats. They each have their own floats, and then there's other like sponsored people, that they have their own floats and stuff like that, just like any other parade. But I don't know, as far as like organizing and what they decide to do for that, I don't know. And I definitely don't know in Carnival how they do that.
Okay, stop right here, Dave. Stop on this image. Actually, Dave, go back. Let's go back 4 slides. I want to point out 2 things. Okay, so go forward one more, Dave. Where the devil was. Okay, so this is going to give you 3 different shots, right, of around the world of people celebrating this holiday. Number 1, this originated from, as you told us earlier, out of religious roots. I wonder how they would feel now that the wholesome thing of making pancakes and sweets before has now turned into a 30-foot Satan holding a cross with flames rolling out of it. Okay.
Well, so here's the deal: you can sin all you want. You go to confession the next day; it's fine.
And here's my other point. Now watch this. Okay, everybody, take a good look at your screen right now. All right, this is the rest of the world celebrating Mardi Gras. All right, now Dave, 4 or 3 more slides where we were. One more.
Yes, this one.
Look at America.
Well, the floats that we looked at before, those were New Orleans floats.
But I mean, it wasn't like down there they had at Rio with the 80-foot tiger and.
Oh no! I mean, they have structures built just for Carnival. Like, it's unbelievable what they do down there.
We need to step our game up.
Do we?
Yep.
We do have the most famous one though. These are actually some historical from the 1800s.
Where are the floats at? I don't see any floats on these. They didn't do them back then?
They did. They started out initially earlier, or like way early on. See, here's some floats. They started way early on. They actually decorated wagons. But they did do floats. They've done floats forever. This one's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's what I would want to know. What goes into like choosing these different floats?
The cat jumped over the moon. Like, well, this one is a nursery rhyme one.
The cow jumps over the moon. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the cow.
I didn't jump over a moon. What moon did I jump over?
Not Kyle. Cow.
Oh.
The big faces.
Like, looking at each one of these, there's a jester in each one of them. Like, I wonder if there's like a story behind the jester character, because there's one in each one of the pictures.
Yeah, there's a lot of gestures. I don't know. I didn't look that one up, and as many times as I've done stuff about Mardi Gras and Shrove Tuesday and things like that, I have never actually thought to look that up. So I don't know.
Now, what is Fat Tuesday?
That's Mardi Gras. Mardi means Tuesday, and Gras means fat.
So the same thing. Okay.
Yes.
I had heard that. Before. I couldn't remember if that was actually what it meant, if that was a separate day itself.
Yeah. Same day.
It's fascinating. I love that. I knew none of that. I didn't know anything about, like, especially the religious aspect. I think it's interesting how that's been sort of forgotten about. Because now it's focused on the complete thing that religion tells you not to do.
Yeah. I did actually a Casey's Corner episode on this last year. So.
Oh, cool.
And it goes more into, like, it's focused on the whole religious aspect, and it talks about also about Ash Wednesday and about Lent and things like that. So it's more in depth with the 3 different things.
Jim, okay. I'm gonna pull up this video. You and I are gonna watch the video.
Okay.
But I need to talk through some dead air while I pull this up and send it to Dave. Do you have?
Okay.
You have anything that you can?
That I can talk about? Yes. Do you want to talk about Ash Wednesday? I'll tell you something funny about Ash Wednesday. I don't know how much you know about it, but some Protestant religions do ashes on Ash Wednesday. Catholics do it. You go to church, and it's a day of fasting and sacrifice and, like, quietness to, like, prepare yourself for the Lenten season. And see, when I was growing up, I went to church every Ash Wednesday because you had to get the ashes on your forehead. They do ashes in the sign of cross on your forehead, which tomorrow a lot of you will probably see people with ashes on their forehead. You do not have to tell them that they have shit on their forehead. They know. Okay. I went to Catholic school, so at school it wasn't a problem. Everybody had ashes on their forehead. But I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, so I noticed last year when I was looking up a couple of things for Ash Wednesday, because I wasn't sure if Protestants did it. And I actually found that in several places, not only do Protestants do it, they have, like, these Ash and Go things where you can drive through a line the pastor is like standing on the side of the thing. He'll come up to your car, do your ashes, and then you drive on. It's the craziest shit I have seen. Yes. Well, so now there are some Catholic churches in cities that are setting up like stands outside the Catholic churches where the priest will be standing there with a sign, and he'll do like his little prayer and ask you right outside the church doors, and you can keep walking on your way. And wow. I don't know. It seems really strange to me because I grew up where Ash Wednesday is like some super solemn day where you're supposed to be in prayer and thinking about everything that's wrong with you as a human so that you can like, understand how bad you are and then sacrifice all kinds of shit to make up for how bad you are before Jesus rises. And so
when I was big into like the church and I was going in every Sunday, and I was still in high school and I was really active in the youth, like, literally lived there almost. Like we would have things on Saturday nights. I look back at it and it's almost cringeworthy, but I used to get like so excited because on the weekends, like twice a month, we would do these things called lock-ins. Have you heard of these? Where because there's nothing like spending your Saturday night being locked in a church. Like that is just, I used to get so excited about that. And
because there's a difference between like a Catholic lock-in and a Protestant lock-in.
Oh yeah, I know. But
religion.
Nope, I'm not gonna make that joke. I am giving up the Catholic predatory jokes for Lent. I was getting ready to say the difference between a Catholic lock-in and a Protestant lock-in is the age of the people that you're locking in, but I'm not going to do that.
Not
okay. I was the true version of Christianity, the Protestant, not the reprobate heathens that you guys were.
You do. I mean, you know enough church history to know that like that's not accurate, right?
Listen, I get my information from Preaching to the Choir Ministries, and he has said many times that Catholics are not Christians. It doesn't matter that they follow Christ, because that's what a Christian should be. It's that they are Catholic and they are not Christian. So sorry, Casey.
Like they were Christians first.
They were in a retro. It took us to come and purify it, though. We had to show them what the real. No, but yeah, I was
Protestant because those motherfuckers didn't want to follow the rules. That's why there's Protestant.
I was a Southern Baptist. But what I was saying to what you were bringing up, what we would do the Saturdays after or the Sundays after that lock-in, in between the morning service and the evening service, is we would have drive-through prayer where you'd literally stand outside. People would pull in the parking lot. If they were like on their way to somewhere and they wanted to pray about something, they would pull in. You would walk up to their car like you're at Sonic, like you're a car hop, and literally just pray with them, and then they would drive on.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
It was a good idea at the time. We thought we were doing really good work.
I am sure that you did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let me ask you this before we get to this video. What were some of the things that you gave up for Lent? Do you remember?
Like when I was a kid?
Yeah.
Usually gum. Like I was a big gum chewer, and so usually I would give up chewing gum. I wasn't allowed to really drink soda, so soda wasn't something. It was usually gum.
Gum.
Yeah.
Yes, that's not even a punishment, though. This is what I'm talking about.
What do you mean for a punishment?
This is what I'm talking about. This is why Catholics are not really Christian. I mean, you guys just God tells you to give up something that's going to really affect you, and you say, "Well, okay, juicy fruit, I guess."
That really did affect me. I chewed gum all the time, so it did affect me. But here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that Catholics do. Well, some Catholics do that, like Protestants don't do.
We know. We already know.
What? for Lent, it's not just about what you give up, but it's also about what you do. So like, not only did you give up something, but you would do like extra charity work or whatever. So I would go to the soup kitchen and serve soup to the homeless twice a week instead of once a week during Lent.
Oh, good for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
So I gave up my time for others.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I'm just disappointed in you right now. I really am. Like,
why?
Because you went so long through life thinking that Christians or that Catholics were really, really Christian, and it's just okay. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. Along with the like the dark side, like we mentioned voodoo earlier. What are your views on witches?
I mean, I don't really have views on witches. I think witchcraft is silly. But like I don't care if people like want to like do their witch thing. It doesn't I guess I just don't have a strong opinion one way or the other. I just think witchcraft is silly because it draws up in the same.
Let me just clarify. I'm not talking about the I'm not talking about the nature like Wicca branch of witches. I'm talking about witches, like the ones back in the day that would cast spells and steal people's souls and stuff like that. Real witches.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about too. Like the Wicca stuff, I don't care if you whatever, it doesn't matter. But the like I'm talking about like witchcraft, like you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, to me it draws on the same idea of supernatural as religion does, and it's just silly. It's silly. The women that were burned, well, technically in the United States, witches weren't burned at the stake here, but witches that were killed, they weren't actually witches. They were just women. And so, I mean,
they were drowned or they were drowned or hanged here.
Yeah, they were mostly hanged. Like burned at the stake is kind of a, I don't know, it's one of those. Yeah, but it's just not something that happened here. So I just got distracted. Somebody in the chat said Hocus Pocus is a true story.
That is listen, we will not say anything bad about Hocus Pocus, okay? That is
I love Hocus Pocus.
That is a holy movie, okay? Praise be to Bette Midler. That movie is amazing. It's right up there. It's a smidgen underneath Rocky Horror Picture Show. Just a smidgen. I mean, but not by much.
I have never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show.
They've cut her feed now. I can't do this anymore.
No, we can't have you here. We gotta go.
Nope. Hey, do you want to watch it? You want to watch it together when you come visit?
I can't. How have you literally survived to the age that you're at right now without seeing?
I've gone to midnight shows in theaters for Rocky.
Yes, we have to watch it.
Look, crowd participation is key.
We literally have to watch this. Like it's if I can't marry you and God, if I can't marry somebody who has never seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show, so we have to do this. Okay. This has to be a.
All right. So after the live stream for Flat Earth Friday, when you guys do your special live stream here, we will watch Rocky Horror Picture Show because you're staying here on Friday, and then we'll do that on Friday after the stream.
Okay. So let me get this straight. Okay. You don't like moon pies. You weren't a real Christian, and you've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Well, so to be fair, like there's a lot of movies I haven't seen. I'm not much of a pop culture kind of person. I never get the references ever. When I was growing up, I mostly read, and I was a dancer, and I danced at a very high level. So I spent almost all of my time at the dance studio. So I didn't watch a lot of movies, and I didn't really watch TV.
Did you see It?
I have seen It, yes, but I am terrified of clowns. I read It. I read It before I saw the movie It. I read the unabridged, very, very long, when I was like 10.
Same guy plays in both.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all
I mean, I
float
know
down
what
here.
you're talking, like Rocky Horror. I know what you're talking about. Like when you say that, I just have never seen it.
Blasphemy. Okay, so Jimmy and I did on Sundays, Jimmy and I do a show together where we pick a video and we go through, various aspects. And this past Sunday, we went through this pastor of Life Journey Hope Church. Hope Life Journey Hope Church. And in his 10 reasons why atheists don't believe in God. And I was looking on his channel, and I have found that this pastor has a little bit of an unhealthy obsession with a certain group of green, pointy-nosed women with pointy hats and riding brooms.
Okay.
So let's find out when he says that why witches are coming out of the closets.
Oh, okay.
Dave?
Why witches are coming out the closet? Why witches are coming out the closet? We see in the Bible time that how the witches, they was hiding because Saul, the first king, put an edict out to massacre, to kill all the witches. Now there are witches on YouTube. They coming out the closet and say they are proud to be a witch. Why is this, preacher? Why is this, prophet? Because we live in the last days.
They pause right there.
We live in a...
He just said, he just referred to himself in the third person as prophet.
Yeah.
And he's talking about witches that are coming.
You know who usually does that?
Who?
False prophets.
Oh, what about him is false, Casey?
I don't know. Those sunglasses are pretty bad.
That is true. I can't even lie there. All right, Dave. Let's find out about these. Let's find out more about these witches.
The time with Satan letting people show their true colors. You are a witch. Witches are coming out of the closet and say they are proud to be a witch. Why is this, preacher?
Hold on there.
Because
I think we need to clarify that there are different closets, right? There has to be. Like, I don't want to get lumped into the same closet that witches come out of, right? Like gay people come out of the closed closet. Witches come out of the broom closet. And I wish he would make this distinction.
Where do atheists come out of? Their mama's basement closet? Or the pantry closet?
Let's think about this. There's
the hat closet.
They don't believe in the closet.
The fedora.
Oh, the hat closet. Okay, I could buy the hat closet.
All right, Dave.
Okay.
We live in a time where people don't fear God. People don't fear the fire of God. People are relaxed. They don't scared to be rebuked by a prophet. Don't be scared to be annihilated. They fear to be rebuked by the prophet. Hallelujah. So I'm saying to you, witches are coming out of the closet because they don't fear God. They're coming out of the closet because they worshiping Satan with dignity. They're worshiping Satan with being proud and boastful that they are witch. So what's your witch? All witches gonna be in the lake of fire. Yes, all witches gonna be in the lake of fire. So why should you be afraid? Glory to God.
I don't understand what he's talking about.
Come on, proudly saying you a witch. If you are a witch, you're gonna die in a lake of fire. You will feel pain forever.
Hey, let's go. Go towards the end.
The...
Let me see. Right now he's just rambling. Go towards the end and see if he picks up with any substance here.
I mean, he's been rambling the whole time.
Yeah, because you've been watching YouTube videos and not afraid no more to be called a witch. But witches are destined for the lake of fire. In Revelation 21:8 say, all sorcerers shall have their part in the lake of fire.
So, Jesus could be considered a sorcerer. He cast demons out of
I literally
people,
just
put them in pigs.
2 minutes of the video, and it sounded like I didn't skip any of it.
Yeah, skip another minute. Let's give him.
There's not another minute left, I don't think.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Well, let's
not
play the rest of it. let's just play it out then and see what he closes on. See if he closes strong.
Witches are not they are not afraid anymore.
Give it to me, Pastor.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Witch are bold now, but I'm not afraid of no witch. I'm not afraid of no warlock. I'm not afraid of no wizard. Because the blood just against every one of them.
I was just
in the name of Jesus Christ.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Witches came out.
Oh my God.
So if you have time, you need to go to Life Journey Hope Church YouTube page. There are so many videos on this. I'll read out just a couple of the titles here. Thou Are Dust Still. That sounds like a really good greatest hit. Sex 101. Sex 101.
I really don't want sex tips from him. He probably needs to get sex tips from us, Kyle.
Oh, how to deal with Christian witches.
The fuck is a Christian witch?
My brain went.
I think they're mutually exclusive.
My brain just literally went, nope. It wouldn't even think about that. Like, I'm sitting here trying to put it. It won't let me. Why women decide to be witches. What is yoga?
An exercise type?
Too much sex will kill you.
That is not true.
Why bleach your skin? Jesus Christ versus the Great Wizard.
Oh boy.
Oh man, there are over 300 videos on that YouTube channel.
I mean, couldn't the Yahweh God be considered the Great Wizard? I'm just saying.
I thought he was.
How does he define wizard? Also, I'd really like to know how he defines witch.
I think he was talking about what sort of the New Age witches. To me, okay, you had Jesse Lee Peterson. I hate to bring him up again, but I watch a lot of his stuff just because I'm fascinated with that character that he does. And he had the Great White Witch of Los Angeles, I believe it was. She now has changed her name to something else because she didn't want it to sound like she was. Yeah. There's not enough. I'll try to break it down for you. She is a sect leader over there in California. She changed her name from a sect. There's people that come to her for like healing or whatever. She used to be called the Great White Witch. She changed that because it's too racially charged now. She meant white as in pure, but she then decided that she doesn't want white to mean pure anymore because that would mean that the opposite of white and pure is black and unpure. So she's changed her name. Yeah, that's true. Which I mean, if you're trying to push a business where you're getting like fake, you're getting healing or whatever like this, it's probably a good move because it takes her away from that controversy or whatever. But she came on Jesse Lee Peterson's show. She is a witch. She was ordained by some higher witch in the womb.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And I'm assuming that's where this came from. He probably saw one of those type on here, and can't believe that there are actually people who are identifying as witches and warlocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, who cares? They don't actually do anything.
Yeah, we had one. We had a warlock on here, Darren Dietschy from the Church of Satan. He came on.
He's not a warlock. He's not a real, warlocks aren't real.
I mean, he considers himself I know that's not real. That's what they refer to themselves as.
Which is a title.
I think so. I think it's more so of a title
than anything. Satan, those are titles, kind of like bishop and pope and shit.
Yeah. Now the read that I was getting off of him when we were talking to him is that to a certain degree he does believe that magic, that dark magic, does exist. Based on his answers, that now, like you said, I don't believe that warlocks are a thing or witches. I think this is
I've read the Satanic Bible, and it basically says that you don't. It's the ritual is about magic, but it's psychodrama. So you're literally doing it on you're basically in your head decompressing psychologically when you do those rituals. It's not, if something happens, you cannot not believe in the magic, but they don't actually put odds on anything actually happening from their rituals. So
that sounds like, so why do it then? This was my entire issue with
for decompression, for catharsis. That's the only
the only bad thing that I had, and I like Darren was awesome when he came on. Like the interview was great. I liked him as a person or whatever. But the one question that I had for him at the end of it was, why do this? Why have a Church of Satan? You don't believe that Satan is an actual character, obviously. Why go through these rituals and meet? Why don't you all just go down and bowl and have a beer? You know what I mean? Like why go through, why add this? It's almost like you're building up another religion, and that's the one thing that you rally against over here. They do their ritualistic things and kind of get together, and essentially you're doing the same thing. I just didn't get it. I mean, it's fine if you want to do that, more power to you. I just don't understand it.
I guess I don't have strong opinions about it, other than I don't believe in magic.
Right.
I guess any kind of supernatural power or beings or anything like that. I've never seen any evidence of anything like that, so I'm not inclined to believe that those things are real.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either. I think that this is just a day and age where people are searching for something, and for some reason people connect it. Like, I mean, Casey, YouTube has just shown me so many things. Friday, I literally had people that believe. There are people that believe. They're called mental shifts. They believe
What?
that, yes, mental shift. They believe that at birth, their reincarnated soul was supposed to go to an animal, but instead somehow went to a child. And at a certain age, they have the ability to tap into that animal and become a wolf or a horse or whatever. They're called mental shifts. Otherkins.
That's fucking stupid.
This is...
That's stupid.
So if this is the stupid this week, Kyle, what's the stupid that's going to happen next week?
I don't know, but I remember the days when we used to think flat Earth was crazy.
We still think flat Earth is crazy. I actually told
KC.
people that I work with. What? So listen, let me tell you what I did. So I kind of like use Flatter Day as like content for talking about crazy people at work, because here's the thing: a lot of people at work won't talk to me because they're mostly conservative and mostly religious, and they like to talk about those things a lot, and I am not welcome in those conversations because I don't think like them, and I don't believe in their fairy tales. So I have to try to find things to talk to people at work about that aren't those things. So we talk about flat Earth. And I tell them all of the nutter butter things that people believe. And this week I got to tell them about I had already told them about Dropity, but this week I got to tell them about Uppity, and and the guy who thinks that trees, that gravity doesn't exist because trees grow up.
Right.
So that was
Dropity and levity. Dropity and levity.
Uppity.
Dropity and levity. Dropity and levity.
But we have to call it Uppity.
But I have to tell you, I have to strongly disagree with you in the fact that, to me, I look forward sometimes to these flat Earth discussions. It's a bit of normalcy for me. Like, to me, that's coming back towards the normal realm with some of the stuff that, like, I used to be able to open my email, my inbox with no issues. Now, when I wake up in the mornings, I try to hide from my inbox. Like, I'll push my phone away from me. Like, Like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see the darkness that my inbox is going to unleash. But to me, and this is going to sound crazy, but it's 100% true. Flat Earth is my normalcy when I'm looking for something weird. To me, that feels like home. Flat Earth feels like home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had that idiot Joe who doesn't think viruses exist, right?
Right.
Like, we've had some really crazy people. Allegedly Dave, who drinks his own piss and pisses on other people to cure
Edgewise, the guy
gangrene.
that thinks that a dragon is a fossilized dragon. And I have to say this because it's still unbelievable. He believes that this dragon that was the size of the continent of Africa, right? Or half of it, is still there, fossilized. That's what makes the mountains. They're not mountains. It's a fossilized dragon carcass. Well, when you ask him, when you ask him what the purpose of this guy, when you ask him what the purpose of this dragon was, which is like nearly a quarter of the size of the Earth, it's because back in the beginning, the continents were stacked on each other like a hamburger. And God sent this dragon down to unstack the continents and place them where they are around the Earth.
Yeah, why did God need a dragon to do that?
Because he can't be seen getting his hands dirty moving continents around. Obviously.
There was no people. I mean, there were no people.
Not yet. We had to unstack them first.
Well, then he couldn't. There were no people to see him. So why couldn't God just do it?
He just got his nails done.
Oh.
And it's like the back of the dragon was the Sahara Desert, and it was crazy.
Yeah, I remember that guy. Also in the chat, and please, can you explain this to me, Kyle? Because apparently I'm old. In the chat, people are telling me that uppity is a racial slur. Is that like a thing?
A racial slur? I've never heard that.
Apparently. Well, so to me, like, I thought, well, besides the way that we're using it with, you know, droppity and uppity, like, I thought it just meant somebody was, like, snobby.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've never heard it as a racial slur.
Apparently it's a, let's see, it says, hold on.
Somebody explain to me how that's a racial slur. That's not true.
Uppity is a slur against Black people who want rights and respect.
No, it's not.
And somebody else said uppity is a bad word. And then somebody said it's racist to call it uppity, #ban bossy.
It is not a racial slur. Okay? Whoever said that. Yeah, whoever said that, go the fuck on somewhere else with that shit, because it's not going to fly here. It's not a racial slur.
Oh, well, there were multiple people that said that. Apparently they're probably thinking about somebody that said like uppity N-word. Well, but Smitty says uppity means Black people not being submissive to whites.
No, it does not. No, I've heard in movies where people will say uppity N-word, like in Django Unchained, I think. But they're just attaching the word uppity to a racial slur. Uppity is somebody that's like you know what I mean, like spastic or.
Yeah, I've heard you're not supposed to say that either, spastic.
Okay, listen, America. We're getting.
I've been told
we're getting out
it's a no word.
Control. Okay, uppity is not a racial slur. When you attach that to a racial slur, that is an insult, but it does not make uppity a racial slur. The N-word on that is the racial slur. You don't go to somebody and say you're an uppity. An uppity what? That's a descriptive word.
That's like Michelle in the thing says snobby. That's kind of what that's how I always knew it, as like somebody who's like snooty or too good for you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't understand it. I really don't. I don't understand. I don't understand society sometimes.
I didn't call Black people uppity. We were talking about the force of up. We were not even talking about people.
Look, Smitty's trolling. Listen, don't listen to Smitty's trolling. Like no one with an IQ over 2 is going to think that uppity is a racial slur. It is a is an adjective, a way to describe something. It's almost like, snobby.
I just had to ask because, like, you're my go-to person for asking about words, like things with what they mean, because I'll see something and I'll be like, what the fuck does that mean? And I'll just,
I don't even know anymore though. Like, I don't know anymore. We're getting to the point, like, you can't say spastic. Where did this come from?
Well, it's like, I mean, without like using SJW as a pejorative, because like I think social justice is really important, but it's a common thing, like the more social justice crowd, they don't use words like spastic, or like Steve Shives doesn't use the word stupid, because he used to have the 5 stupid things or whatever videos, and he doesn't call them stupid. They're not stupid things. He doesn't use the word stupid anymore because it's ableist language. But here's the deal.
Since you just said that, Casey, everybody that's watching this is now blocked by Steve Shives. So I just want to put that out there.
Well, so I don't know. I think I don't know. I struggle with this whole ableist language stuff because, like, like I don't get all like super offended when people talk about having babies, because I can't. Like, I don't know. I don't consider that ableist. There's something out there that somebody can't do of everything. So, like, I don't know. I just don't even know how we can talk to each other anymore without people getting fucking offended about everything.
Here's why I asked that though, because I refer to myself as spastic all the time. All the time.
Oh, do you?
Yes, absolutely. I will like, I'll have like 9 different things going on, and I'll forget one thing, and I'll just say, I was really spastic this morning. I couldn't pay attention. Like, I don't see in which way that's. I can't keep up anymore.
I don't know. I was told by one of my friends who is more social justice leaning that spastic is not an appropriate word to use. So
I'm sure somebody will.
But I never really used the word spastic anyway to begin with, so it didn't really affect my life. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm just in case there are any social justice people who are thinking that you're gonna like the comments up with me using the word, I'm still gonna refer to myself as spastic all the time. That's not gonna change. Richard House says a creationist conjecture is not evidence. Repeat. Sisfrido Serbia says, what is acting white?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's that's a good question though, because of what we were talking about earlier with the ethnostate people that think that if as long as they act white, they can stay in here.
Yeah, I just don't know what that means.
Yeah, because then somebody
conversation with JF on Thursday.
I don't know, and I'm wondering about that too. Another good question that was asked: what about Jews? Because Jews are, like, they don't. I don't think they consider what he was saying in this debate was that they don't consider themselves white. They're God's chosen people. They're a different nationality. But so where do they fall on the line?
Well, I mean, people like that don't like the Jews. So, like, it doesn't, to me, if it was like people, yeah, ethnostate people, I don't think it matters how Jews look or how Jews act. They are not friendly to the Jewish population.
Yeah.
So I don't think that Jews would be okay. And I don't even get that. Like, I don't even understand. I don't even understand why.
I would consider them white. I mean, and you can only go based on looking at somebody now. I think we're so mixed in as a society as a whole. You would never be able to separate out people in terms of, like, pure bloodlines, I don't think. And even then we all
there are not pure bloodlines anymore. Like, that doesn't exist. And I don't know what pure would mean anyway. Like,
right.
There's nobody that's just one thing.
Sure.
I mean, even people who are, like, listen to this though, even people who are white or Caucasian or like 99% like European, there's still different ethnicities within that. So it's like like one. There's no one person, like somebody that's one thing.
I keep saying the word pure because in the ones that I've seen on here, that's the word that they use. They want to keep at what percentage is pure though? Because if you if you're literally gonna go and test everybody, which number one you could never do because you'd never be able to afford that ever. You never be able to afford to get tested. And at that point, how much is a percentage point to keep a pure ethnostate? It's just, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I qualify though. Hold on, let me pull up my 23andMe. 1 sec.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure I qualify. Oh, it's gonna make me sign in.
Okay, I'll read another super chat while you. No,
I don't know.
Look at. Oh,
you mean to figure it out?
That's going to be interesting. If you can, I'll read these super chats while you I do that.
Okay.
Regal's World says Kyle is as straight as a rainbow. That's correct. Reed Chaberneau says Muslims are Torah observant Christians. Reed Chaberneau again says, I have an old friend who works for the sheriff's department and believes in all of this shit. He gets calls from God to eradicate demons. It's scary. Ooh, what? And he works for the sheriff's department?
To eradicate demons? What does he do? Tell me he doesn't take those fucking calls.
Reed, can you put in the can you expound upon that a little bit more in the live chat if you're still watching? And then Demonic Davro says uppity means self-important. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, is that all the super chats?
Yeah,
I reset my password. Okay, hold on. Yep. So let's see. Where's my app now? Okay, done.
That's scary though, that you have police officers that believe they're demons that God has told him to go eradicate.
That is insane. See, I don't think I'm allowed to say insane either.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, you can't say okay.
I know that pisses you off.
Stop saying okay.
Okay. Explore. Sorry, they changed the app.
So while you're looking, does it tell you like if you are from that like percentage of Neanderthals too? Like
yes.
Okay. I want to hear what that is too. That's fascinating.
My Neanderthal ancestry. Hold on, it's loading. I have 301 Neanderthal variants. This is more than 86% of other 23andMe customers. So like, I'm super Neanderthal.
That's fascinating. That's fascinating.
Right? Maybe that's why
I was wondering why you drag that big club around everywhere you go.
Right,
hey,
right.
As long as she's not an uppity Neanderthal.
Right,
right. Oh.
So some of the traits that are influenced by having Neanderthal variants are having straight hair, having less back hair, sneezing quite a bit, and being shorter than normal people. Let's see.
So I think it's safe to assume that you do not have a back hair problem. Is that what you're saying on this program, Casey? You're breaking the news here.
I do not have a back hair problem. Yeah,
wow.
I don't have a back hair problem.
Amazing.
So yeah, there's that. Let me see. I'm having problems finding. Oh, please not now.
It won't break it down by.
It does. I have to figure out how to get Ancestry. There we go. Okay, so I am 99.3% European. So I'm pretty sure
99?
in the Ethnostate, 99.3. Okay, 38.7% of that is British and Irish.
Mm-hmm.
29.3% is French and German. 7.5% Scandinavian. 3.1% Spanish and Portuguese. 2.9% Ashkenazi Jewish. 14. Huh?
I said, oy vey.
I know, right? I'm a Jew. I get to say that right because I got 2.9% of it.
Pretty sure no.
Do I get to claim it?
No.
I don't know. Just ask Elizabeth Warren.
Definitely not. Oh, shots fired.
Yeah. So broadly Northwestern European, 14.8%. 2.1% broadly Southern European, and 1.1% broadly European. I'm also 0.5% Sub-Saharan African, and 0.1% East Asian and Native American.
I like that's probably easier, like easy to tell with someone like you, because you have a fair complexion, blonde hair, and blue eyes. You know, I mean, that's I didn't know you were that white though. We're gonna have to talk after the show.
Is that a problem?
I'm not like say you're like
it is in society today. I think
you got a little bit of everything. She's like a mutt. She's got a little bit of everything.
Well, everybody does. Though. That's everybody.
Like a European mutt. Like,
that's like everybody though, right?
She's like a cocker spaniel.
Well, that's kind of the point. Is like, even in this whole ethno-state argument, like from Europe, like even if it's European, there's a lot of ethnicities within Europe.
Sure.
That are vastly different. I mean, people in Spain are super different from people in Ireland. You know?
Absolutely. I think I look for, or I hope we get to the day where we can just get over the like the race being such an issue for some people. You know what I mean? Like just when we get to that time where it's not constantly talked about on the news and being used as a way to drive a wedge between everyone. Because I mean, like in every aspect of American history, it's just entrenched and ingrained somehow. Like it's like that, like that itch you can't get rid of. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter what happens and the progress that's made, it just seems like it always resorts back down to. And I don't think, I personally don't feel like, as the society as a whole and the majority of people aren't racist. You know, why do we get so hung up and let these small amount of people continue to push this narrative? I don't get it.
I don't know, and I don't think it's necessarily about allowing them. I don't know. I think that it's becoming more normalized, and I don't know. I think a lot of people are getting pushed to the extremes. Like one extreme is pushing the other extreme, and then that extreme pushes the other extreme. So people are getting way more toward the outsides of the spectrum.
Sure.
And yeah, I mean, like to the point where like somebody who is a more moderate person, like in between, is dubbed a centrist, which is the super wordy dirty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess I don't see a problem really with having a more moderate standpoint on some things. There are some things that like I will never give on. Like I will be always be far more liberal when it comes to civil rights, because like to me that's just like people rights. You know what I mean? Like I don't even. Sure. I understand the need for civil rights. I don't know why we even have to deal with that, because I feel like we should just treat all people the same. So I don't understand that, but it's necessary. Like the civil rights argument is necessary. But I don't know. I guess that's the hardest part, I think, is that everybody's being pushed to one side from they're just being pushed to more extreme behavior. And that's not helping anything. It's making things so much worse.
People, I think, have forgotten to talk to people that they don't agree with. We, like you said, we get so caught up on our own sides where we want to, be in our, whether it's feminists or the MRAs or incels. They've forgotten how to talk to each other or come to and have a conversation. I watched today. It's funny that this has come up, but I watched a TED Talk today of this African American guy who he's a famous piano player, and he was in a bar one time. Wound up talking. Long story short, he wound up having conversations with the Grand Wizard of the KKK. They would go and they would yeah, they would go and they would have. Now, here's the weird thing though, and it's worth going and watching this. This African American guy was writing a book. He interviewed this wizard several times. The wizard invited him to a Klans meeting. The guy went.
What?
Subsequently,
Why would he go?
Subsequently, the guy went to numerous of these Klans meetings. He would go there, and he would sit there, and eventually, the Grand Wizard started looking over to where his like by that point friend was sitting, and said, "I don't agree with him, but I respect him." 2 years later, that Grand Wizard handed that African American guy his robe, his KKK robe. Told him he didn't want it anymore, and it's still hanging up today in that guy's closet.
Yeah.
If you go and watch that story, and I think that says a lot. You know, if you're willing to, what his point was is that you don't have to respect what they're saying, but respect their right to say it, and be there willing to talk about that side instead of, you know, he could have went to an anti-KKK group or whatever, and the two sides could have fought, and who knows what would have happened. But he didn't. He went, he listened, he sat, and he was wanting to talk about it when it was over. And what wound up happening is he took the Grand Wizard of that KKK group and made him somebody that now respects everybody. I think that has a lot, you know, there's a lot to be said about that.
Yeah, when you get a chance, will you put that link in the description of this video so people can go check it out? Also, just to make a point related to that, a lot of people talk about hate speech being banned and things like that, and pushing people and ideas like underground, not giving them a platform and things like that. And there's an argument to be said for that. At the same time, I think a lot of bigotry in general, racism, all of it included, the bigotry in general is mainly based in either indoctrination, but mostly misunderstanding. Like, I don't think that people, maybe don't know anybody that is not heterosexual, or that they know of, you know what I mean? Or they don't know anybody who's Black because they're from, you know, a small town in Alabama or whatever. Or they don't know any Hispanics because none live in their area. And so they have whatever people have said about them and whatever, you know, I guess stereotypes are there, and that's what they latch onto. But then when they meet somebody who's different than they are, and they actually get to know them, it opens their minds a lot. And so I think most of it is just misunderstanding and lack of knowledge. I think they just don't understand people. I mean, I think I've told people before about this girl that I work with. Well, I don't work with her anymore, but this lady that I worked with who was taught in her church that atheists, all atheists, sacrifice small animals to Satan in their basements. So that's what she thought about me. She thought I went home from work and that's what I did. Like, I go into my basement and I sacrifice small animals to Satan. And I thought she was joking when she told me this, because she had never met an atheist before me that she knew of. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I thought she was joking, so I laughed, which was not really an opportune time to laugh. But it kind of came off like I was like evil laughing. But like, she wasn't kidding. And so, like, I don't know. I know it's really weird, right? So it's kind of, I don't know, I took it as kind of an opportunity to make her understand that that's not what atheists do. That's not an atheist thing. There aren't really atheist things. So but she really wasn't interested in learning the truth. But there's another lady that I work with who is a Christian. She's a pretty devout Christian. But she talked to me and got to know me. And she doesn't care. At first, it bothered her that I was an atheist, but now she doesn't care at all that I'm an atheist. And she's like, "No, you're actually a really good person." Mm-hmm. So
you know like, a lot of that is.
Most of us are.
You know how many times that's happened with me with being gay? When I waited tables through college, there was two old lady, they were sisters. They worked at this restaurant. They were like bus tables or part-time, but they were super Christian. And they let it be known that, you know, they didn't approve of that lifestyle or whatever. About 6 months later, after that, you know, we sat down one night. We got snowed in at the restaurant, and so we all were just sitting at the table for like 5 hours waiting on the crews to come in and scrape the roads. And we just sat there and talked that night. After that night and day. I mean, they were just this welcome. It takes people who aren't used to a certain aspect of someone's life that may be different from them. And this was the point I was trying to make with Jim one evening. Instead of like with the bakers, instead of forcing the people like to bake the cakes. And I know that's a contentious issue, and I'm not trying to bring that up to debate that, but I bring a point of that if you force those people, or people who feel that way, to do things like bake the cake, you make that void wider, because you're forcing them to do an action towards a certain group of people, whether they be gay or whatever, and that's going to entrench them farther against that particular group of people. Whereas if everybody kind of is more willing to be open to having a discussion rather than just a total shutout, I think you win more people over that way, and they'll come to your side naturally and choose to bake that cake on the next time, because they actually met gay people that they either connected with on a certain level. There's a lot of dynamics to it, I know, but Dave, throw this up on the screen. This is what happened subsequently from that. A black man convinced 200 Ku Klux Klan members to give up their robes. And this is from the link that I put in the live chat. This is what happened afterwards. Over the following years, he has in his house a rack that now has 200 KKK robes from people that he has gone around the country and done this very thing, sat down, talked to them, had conversations, and he says that they give them up on their own. And he even walked a Klansman's daughter down the aisle.
Wow.
So you can pull back now, Dave. Just something to just something to think about. There are many ways that you can go about getting change done, and sometimes
I'll be honest sure. with you. I think that part of the reason why progressives are losing ground is because they won't talk to people, and I think that's part of the problem. Like, I would consider myself, for the most part, progressive, but I will talk to people and listen, and I may not agree with them, and I may not like them. Like, there's people I've talked to on this show that I don't like, but you know, I am willing to hear their point, and then I feel like that's also my opportunity to make an impression on them and maybe change their mind about something. And you are never going to have that opportunity if you don't talk to people.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with that. Couldn't agree with that more. Now, there are, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying to get rid of the protests and all that stuff, because those are necessary too. I think you need a combination of the two.
Protests are definitely necessary.
Yeah, you need a combination of the two. It's not a one or an all, and that's the bottom line with everything in life. It's not a one side or nothing issue. You have to be able to. People aren't going to agree all the time, and you have to be willing to explain, where you think they're wrong, and have a rational conversation without it going into car bombs and throwing things through business windows and that sort of thing. It's because it's very. Go ahead.
I totally don't believe in violence to make your point. I think that's totally the wrong way to go. You're gonna give somebody else the ammunition to use and make themselves a victim and make people feel bad for them. And I think all you're doing is hurting yourself at that point.
Yeah, I agree. Final thing, Countless X in the live chat says, I totally stumbled across your podcast by accident. So glad that I did. You gained a fellow atheist subscriber. Well, welcome to the flock. We're glad to have you. I like hearing stuff like that. If you can, if you're still here, how did you stumble across this? I'm always curious about that. Okay, so I think we lived up to our show's name tonight.
I know, right? I do actually. I like when we have people on, but I also kind of like when you and I get to have episodes too, where we just kind of shoot the shit.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to and you know, this part wasn't planned. I don't know how we got from witches to solving America's race issue. I don't know how that happened.
I don't either. We're totally random.
We're so random, but that's a good thing. Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
I don't think so. Not a whole lot going on here, just school shit.
Cool.
I haven't made for almost for like I think 3 weeks, maybe even more. I haven't done my Today I Learned because I've just been so busy with other stuff, but those will be coming back hopefully soon-ish.
I think I saw another super chat. Let me make sure.
It's really hard with work and school to be able to get that stuff done.
You're almost done though, right?
I should be done by the end of October. Yeah.
Yay. Demonic Davro says, speaking of DNA, my genetic code is being used to determine that mental illness is affected by genes and not just chemical imbalances. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It could very well be. Demonica, are you saying that like that's not something that's widely like adhered to? Because I know nothing of like genes are not my unless you're talking about like from Express or Gap. I can help you out with those kind of genes, but the type of genes that you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about that. I'm more of a
I have to ask a question. What was the last thing that you heard from me a second ago? What was the last thing that you heard me say a second ago?
You're not a jeans kind of guy?
Damn it. I made the greatest joke right as my mic.
What'd you say?
Out. I said, I'm not a jeans kind of person unless you're talking about the ones from Gap or Express, and then I can help you out with those.
Yeah, we heard that.
Oh I didn't hear that. I guess I was reading. Sorry, I was reading the chat. I'm sorry. See, I was distracted. I was reading the chat, and I was only half listening to you.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Apparently, it wasn't funny because nobody laughed, and it's fine. I don't need the pity. It's an Australian research that's being done in Queensland. It's the first of its kind. Okay, so it's new. Cool. You know, it makes sense that something like that would be. It could be genetic or hereditary. That makes sense to me. Okay. Don't forget to join us tomorrow at 8 o'clock, where we will be
talking with Dusty.
Talking with Dusty, yes. I have papers.
Dusty
I have papers
everywhere.
On our
show. Dusty was supposed to be on our show.
You can pop in if you want to.
I'll think about it.
You totally can. We can see how much you know what'd be funny is if you came in and being like yeah, you know, Dusty, I'm just I help the show out with the invoices at the end of the month, and how much is this appearance costing again?
I feel like he was just making an issue because it was Dusty, or I mean, because it was Bunty.
Bunty, which I don't get because Bunty's literally the nicest person. Like, if you had to talk to anybody, you'd want to talk to Bunty.
Bunty is like super chill.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, if you're not an asshole to him, he's not going to be an asshole to you, basically.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I mean, I've never had any really problem with Bunty.
And finally, some of the things that some of the people that we have coming up for this month. I haven't updated the calendar, so I'm just going to put it out there until I get that done. We have the representative from the official Flat Earth Society that's going to be coming in. King Crocoduck coming back. A talk about DMT and how that affects the psyche. To follow in on that, I am looking now actively. If you or anybody you know somebody that and this is a tricky issue because there's not anybody that like actually is a like a specialist or whatever in this, but there are people who like know about it, and there are people who hear about things that they hear on YouTube. But the stoned ape theory, I'm looking for somebody that really knows that in and out. I've emailed Paul Samus. I know that a lot of people are going to say him. His schedule is such that he can't. He did get back to me. His schedule is such that he can't commit to anything right now. He said maybe later on. So I'm looking to see if there's anybody else other than him, because his is the only name that I keep coming across. Are you familiar with that, Casey?
No.
It says that during our evolutionary process, our ancestors, before we got to the human form that we are now, came across mushrooms, ate those caused a chemical reaction in order to then unlock parts of their brain. That's how our consciousness came, or our ability to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to tell you this. Me and King Crocoduck have a funny thing going on. He like people call him KC. Well, that's just not going to work for me because that's me. So so I call him the other KC. He doesn't like it.
Well, my darling, I hate to tell you this, but he's the other KC, because you are the other KC, because I am the KC.
But people don't call you Casey. Like, your initials are Casey, but people don't call you that. See, like,
Trivial.
People call me that, and people call him that. So I call him the other Casey.
How does he take that?
Not well.
Not well.
It's a love-hate thing. It's a love-hate thing.
I've missed him. I've missed his. He's got the best like dry wit sarcasm. Like, because you can never tell when. Yeah, he's got a really good sense of humor.
Yeah, I really like him.
Okay.
There's things we don't agree on. There's things we don't agree on, but I really like him.
Sure. And that's a good point too. We'll end on this. Just because you disagree with somebody does not mean that you have to, number one, discount everything else that they say. There may be some other things that they or some other positions that they take that you do agree with. It also doesn't mean that you can't be friendly with them or try to, work through that one issue that you do have. A lot of times you see, especially on Twitter, somebody will say one thing and then instantly that person is just not cut off, not have anything else to do with them. And I think that that just, if you run from everybody that you disagree with, you'll be alone. That's what it eventually leads to, because everybody disagrees.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody.
Uh-oh, Casey's breaking up.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it just, I don't know.
Casey.
The witches have you, Casey.
With religious people,
The witches are getting you, Casey. You're.
Oh.
You're breaking up.
Oh, the stream is freezing up.
Witches.
But yeah, anyways, like, you can be friends with people and have disagreements. I mean, how anything to talk about.
We can't hear Casey. I'm assuming she's giving us beautiful wisdom as always. So we're gonna nod and say yes, rock on, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. with Cult of Dusty.
Good night, y'all.